Hey, folks, if nothing else, Rodney and I have our opinions about the state of the world. And we talk about that today, and also how blessed we are with our lives and the career choices we made. Well, we hope you enjoyed this edition of Old Fools Talking Old School.
Yeah, that's the part. The one with the big money had the big influence too, and most of that influence is in Congress. So
that's why they all millionaires.
That's right. That is right.
Them and Putin, because Putin, they always said they was going to destroy us from within. The way a lot of these folks are acting up there in the House, I think they on Putin's payroll.
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
Yeah,
it makes you wonder who they looking out for, because it don't seem like they're looking out for our country.
You ain't lying. I laugh, but then I'm like, man, don't laugh at that, because them poor people over there, they can't help. They got a fool for a leader, and no more than we can help. But they were talking about Kim Jong-un. I didn't know that little was only 40 years old, and he over there crying about he ain't gonna be able to feed his population. But you can shoot off a rocket every 3 weeks. You need to rearrange your priorities, and telling the women to have more kids. Now, why are you gonna tell women to have more kids and you can't feed the ones you got?
Well, North Korea's been like that for years. I mean, that's why they was doing stuff like shooting off rockets and threatening to invade South Korea and that kind of stuff, because they couldn't feed their people. So they would go out and make all them threats, and countries would give them rice and things like that to sort of shut him up. They'd give even his dad, when his dad was in power, they was doing the same thing.
Yep.
But people have sort of gotten tired of all the rhetoric, and as I tell people all the time, there ain't nothing in North Korea that anybody wants.
You got that right.
If they had a big, huge oil reserve, or if they had, gold mines or something like that, you could say, yeah, man, we need to play ball with them. Ain't nothing in North Korea anybody wants.
You're right.
So that's how he's been trying to get stuff for his people, is by threatening to do stuff to the South and stuff like that. So these other countries will come out and give them food. They've been like that for a while. He just, he as they say, the fruit don't fall far from the tree or whatever. He just like his crazy daddy.
Yeah, yeah. And what little they do have, he's taking it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't. Sometimes I don't understand. Sometimes you got to squash a bug. You know what I mean? You're a nuisance. Hell, those people in North Korea could probably be pretty productive under the right guidance.
Yeah.
This is a Donald Trump wannabe dictator in a suit that's too little. He ain't about la-di-da, trying to be a player, like somebody listens to him. I don't care how you shoot them rockets up in the air. Oh, it got a little closer.
And that's about all they're doing is getting
That's
closer.
all they do. Oh, it's a little closer. Yeah, man, you ain't doing nothing.
No, no. That's why people don't take them serious. Plus, they got so many people over there on the border and down south, they'd have a hard time even getting across. So, that's why they talk about, going and bombing Japan and stuff. I said, can you imagine you shooting a rocket to Japan? The world power. But he just
that would get the backing of us.
Yeah. So he just tries to do that kind of stuff to get, as I said, to get food for his people, because they've been in bad shape for years. The Russians was helping them, Chinese has been helping them, and they have their own issues now with their economies. They can't be helping. They can't be helping out. They got their own issues. So that's part of why they're in the bad shape now, because they too big. Papas. They ain't got the resources to be sending them stuff.
That's right. And these right wing Republicans over there singing the tunes of Putin, he can't. Yeah, the last two small countries he tried to conquer whooped his ass. The Afghans did, and now the Ukrainians are doing it. I'm only hoping what this country is about and what they do is to hell with them Republicans. I hope they funding the Ukrainians and kicking his ass because his folks are right now. They got that closed. They always talk about China's closed society. Hell, that's what Putin got over there. He be lying. Them folks over there think they winning the war and they getting their ass handed to them.
Yeah, yeah. But when you
know?
control the, when you control the media like that and stuff,
Yeah.
You can tell them whatever you want to tell them. That's all they know. And I'm sure, that they think that's exactly what's going on. But I I tell you, the only thing that I don't quite understand that one general for that mercenary group that was marching toward Russian capital.
Yeah.
Why the hell would you get on an airplane?
Stupid.
I would never get on an airplane knowing. Why would you get on an airplane? I would no. I'm gonna walk where I'm gonna get on no airplane. He was an easy target.
After he done seen what Putin has done,
Yeah,
all the time with these folks flying out of high-rise hotel rooms or
you
getting
gonna go
poisoned.
get on an airplane?
Yeah, he should have kept marching on to Moscow. Is what he should have done.
That's what he should have done. When he stopped is when he sealed his own fate.
Yeah, he did, and it was just a matter of time. Everybody wondered how it was going to happen.
Oh yeah, everybody knew he was. I thought they might be nice and let him go ahead to go to one of them other countries and just not hear from him again. But then when that happened, I'm like, how dumb can you be to get on an airplane? I would have said, no, I'm on, even though they probably would have took him out anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, give me my car. I'll drive myself. Don't worry about it. I'll make my way. Just give me a car. I'll drive myself.
I'm here to tell you, man. It is amazing, though. I mean, to really, how can you live? Well, he did live with himself, I guess, but knowing you signed your own death certificate, it's just a matter of when and where it was going to come from.
Yeah, I think probably there was some promise of maybe some help if things had gone the right way. And when things didn't go the right way, probably, and I'm sure we had some role in that too. It was like, no, it didn't go the right way. You're on your own now, buddy.
Yes, sir. You didn't play ball when we asked you to play ball.
That's right.
So
you're on your own now.
That's what it is. and boy, you play yourself into those positions trying to get on the right team.
Yeah. You're trying to play one against the other, and sometimes that doesn't work.
That's right. That's right. That's a that's a serious dog eat dog work.
These countries will drop you like a hot potato.
God bless these brothers and sisters and all of them that get up in there with the right thing in their heart. But all I need for one time tell me that if you get caught, we ain't gonna acknowledge your existence. They always showing up. We're not here. We're not supposed to be here. Well, Rodney ain't gonna be there. That's for damn sure. But hey, I ain't got that kind of patriotism.
Once again, I look at being blessed and not making some decision early on and getting out, because looking back on it, that kind of thing right now, you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff so much, because worst case scenario, me and you, we got three. We got VA, we got Medicare, and TRICARE for life. So a lot of people don't have nowhere near that. So
exactly,
don't have to sort of worry about that.
I have to tell myself when I'm reading these articles, I said this is not for me. This is an article for people out here that don't have, like you said, the safeguards that we got.
Yeah.
I look at it sometimes. I was just looking at a thing the other day about how much money per month that you would need to make to live comfortably, and I'm like, well, I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm like, certain things don't apply to me. I don't have to worry about this. I don't have to worry about that. And even in the article, they was talking about you to have. This woman was talking about she was upset at her husband because he wants them to have 5 to 6 months worth of money in their emergency fund in case something happened. And she thought 3 to 4 months would be enough. And the thing was, she was the one working and he wasn't. So I'm like, well, hell, he who makes the money makes the choices. and, but when I see stuff like that, and then you look at your own situations, you're like, hey, I did all right.
Yeah, I say the same thing. They have this little thing on Saturday morning, Channel 4. This financial company. They are on there with asking about retirement plans and all that kind of thing. And the question, it seems like for the last few years, is, can you retire on $1 million? And he was saying how, well, everybody's living longer and things of that nature. So at one point when people were saying, yeah, that should be plenty, now you could be in a situation where maybe that's not enough, depending on you not wanting to cut back on your lifestyle and things of that nature. And I was saying to myself, I said, well, that's based on people who are going to be taking money out of their retirement to live on,
There you go.
And I sasaid, we've been
paying taxes.
Yeah, and paying that tax that comes along with it. I said, where we, been, very blessed in the fact that, as of right now, knock on wood, I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Right.
But I said, right now, we're living on just our retirement checks.
Right.
We ain't tapped into our, IRAs and that kind of stuff. None of that stuff at all, Yep. And I hope and pray it stays that way. I said, but a lot of people, their source of income is going to be their 401ks or whatever they had, while they were working and stuff. I said, so.
And that's what all these articles are predicated on, that you can start drawing out immediately.
Right. If you're taking money out of those accounts sort of from day one, and they might kick in some Social Security there, as part of that formula. But basically, they're looking at you taking money out of that retirement account to be able to live on. And how many years can you do that before you exhaust all of it? So I said, that's pretty good. I mean, I've taken some out of our account just because I moved some of it into cash. The way the markets and things are, I've done that a little bit. But other than that, and we just don't touch it. It's just there for
wait on that quarterly statement.
Yeah, it's as my uncle used to say, it's there for other people to enjoy at some point when we're gone. But
that's the truth.
Yeah, because now we're not using it.
That's it.
So I just, like I say, but I'm not complaining. I'm glad to be in a position where we don't have to do that. But just the fact that they talk about it that way, and that's almost the norm. I mean, we're sort of in the abnormal group, if you will.
You're right.
Because that's pretty much the norm for the majority of Americans.
Yeah.
On how they approach retirement, Social Security and it's a lot of people in our country who their only source of income at retirement is Social Security. They work with places that didn't have retirement plans.
That's right.
So
that's their only source. They didn't plan accordingly.
No, and that's the only thing they come in. I mean, I look at like my mom. That's her only income. She never worked anywhere that had a retirement plan. So she never, paid into a retirement plan. So, that's her only source.
she's from the generation like all of our parents are. They really thought Social Security was going to be enough.
To take care of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You know, they
Yeah.
they really. I have my Social Security. I don't know how many times I heard people when I was growing up. I have my Social Security. I'm like, of course, I didn't know what the hell that meant back then,
Right.
but I learned early Social Security ain't gonna be nearly enough.
No.
You know,
No.
and
No. And just
so
like I tell people, I knew when I retired from the military, I could not retire on my military income.
hell
You know,
no.
I mean, that was never even an option. That the option of retiring, and say, okay, I'm retired, was
Yeah,
never even crossed my mind. Two girls going to college, and no. I said, yeah. I said we could have lived on my military retirement, but we would probably be living so close or below the poverty level that I don't
yeah,
know how much a quality of life we would have
exa-
had. But yeah, we could have
exactly.
lived on it. We probably would eat beanie weenies every day.
Yes,
If it
sir.
came down
And,
to it, we
and
could.
I can't wait till I turn 65
Mm-hmm.
to get that other extra little
Yeah,
money
to get a
coming
little bit
in.
more money coming in. But I said
That's
that never
right.
was an option. I knew I was going to get a job. I had to get a job.
You damn right.
So, but
I had this old ignorant ass girl ask me when I was working at the courts there. Uh, could you survive? You could survive on your retirement, couldn't you? Uh, First, before I let her really know what I thought about it, ain't none of your damn business. Number one,
mm-hmm.
but yeah, I could have. I said, why should I? I don't have to. And yeah, I got another job. Well, if you could survive off of that, I don't understand why you get a job. I said, I know you don't understand. I said, because it ain't none of your damn business. Is what it is. Then she gonna try to. Well, I had an uncle who retired in D.C. He was in the Navy, and he went to work for the Pentagon. I said, well, didn't you ask him why he got another job? I said, it ain't my fault that y'all didn't have guts enough to serve any time to put yourself in a position to benefit from it. Like she was a trip, man. And I'm like, my whole thing is, of course, you learn as you go along. I didn't know nothing about this. So the longer I stayed in the military, the more I started learning. I
Yeah.
didn't think about retirement until I started getting to that point where retirement was viable.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, let me look here and make some decisions here, you know, and do it from there. You find yourself, that whole reason why we used to holler about getting out was because we didn't know. And then when we stayed and learned, then shocked when them doors started opening. Oh, look, you know, I I'm young enough to get another job. Okay. Well, man, I'm like, thank you, Jesus. I know His hand been on my life.
That's for sure. That's for
Yeah.
sure. I'm the same way. I mean, because there was a time when I was almost dead set on getting out,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes, sir.
and with no certainty of nothing, and I'm like, what the hell were you thinking? So I'm the same way. You know, the
It
Lord was
goes to
looking
show
after
you,
me.
though. It goes to show you, though, how you can look at other people and say, hey, they doing it, but what are they doing?
Yeah, and how are they doing it?
Yeah,
So,
I
but
mean,
yeah,
you have a little higher expectation than that, can't you? You know.
so,
So I'm like, man, I'm so glad I stayed, and the things that it's afforded me. Like we were talking the last time, man. Hell, if I see something I want, I go get it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
But I sort of take what you say, in two ways though. I'm glad I stayed, but I also am glad that I made I hope what I consider to be some smart decisions
Sure,
with
sure,
staying, because
yeah,
I know there are people who stayed and still have
right,
issues because they didn't make smart decisions uh, when they stayed or after they got out, kind of thing.
right,
So I
right.
think it sort of takes both, and as I say all the time, I've been blessed, I've been fortunate, I've been lucky, whatever term you want to use. Also, it ain't because I was the smartest person in the world, by no means. It's I've had help and fortune along the way too.
Oh yeah,
But
and examples.
yeah, yeah. But I think I think a little piece of that, I did make some smart decisions, whatever you want to call them, that helped along the way too.
Yes, sir. But see, Mickey, one of the things that I think about too is I don't care. The situation is that if you ain't got sense enough to learn from the position that you're in, if you're still of the mindset of nothingness, then you're gonna do it. It's just like people that really stuck in their stupidity. They may make a lot of money, but they still broke. They still ain't learned nothing. They ain't learned how. Uh, I look at all the old dudes that used to be in there. I used to listen to them and learn. I'm like, well, I want to try to do something like that. How you do that? But some people come in like when they go to college, they go with that party concept. They wake up, then they're gone, and then now they reacting. They're not proactive. They're reacting
Yeah.
to the situation that they're in because they ain't prepared for nothing.
Yeah.
I had an old dude that I wanted to whoop his ass. I'll never forget him. And I got with him. We were riding on a truck route there on Lackland Air Force Base one day. He said, "Hey man, you mind if I stop by my house?" I said, "No, hell, he was a staff sergeant. I was an airman first, but he knew I didn't like him. My ass probably would have been somewhere in the ghetto somewhere. Anyway, we rode by his house over there in Valley High. He said, "Yeah, man, I just need to check something at my house, man." I said, "Oh, you got a house?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I bought this house. It'll be paid for in," he said, like a year or two or something like that. He said, "I bought this so when I retire, I'd have my house paid for." And he said, I've been all overseas, and that's why I always come back to Lackland because I got a house here." Hell, I was an airman first. I wasn't even married yet. And I started thinking, that's the kind of stuff I need to be doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's all in who you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself with a bunch of people that ain't trying to do nothing, that's probably what you going to do.
Yeah. Exactly right. Exactly right.
Awesome.
Like I say, I was the same way around people that had made smart decisions, and it helps. It helps to be able to do that, and it helps to have some initiative and some drive of your own too to go out and learn, and
Yeah.
educate yourself and try to be smart about things. And I tried to do that too. I remember back when I bounced them checks all over Lackland Air Force Base when that blue-haired woman out at Geico cashed that post-dated check. And I told myself, I'll never do that again. So it's not a big deal. Every paycheck I got, I'd put it in my checkbook. I'd put in my checkbook $25 less than my check was. And, back then we wasn't making a whole lot of money.
Yes, sir.
So when I came up and my checkbook said I was, out of money, I was out of money. But really I still had $25, and that $25 every pay period started to add up, after a while. Like I said, not a big deal. It wasn't rocket science. It's just I told myself, I said, if I can help it, that will never happen again. And knock on wood, throughout my life, it never happened again. But like I say, it don't take big things all the time. Sometimes it just takes little things to get you sort of set on the right path,
And consistency.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I kept up with it. And I kept doing that. And when I felt like I wanted to, get a little bit more money, guess when I went and got that little part-time job at that shop at Kelly, I went and did that. I said, I'm not in school and I ain't doing nothing. I'm gonna go make me some money. So I went and got that little part-time job. So I mean, it ain't big things that you got to do. Sometimes it's just little things you got to do to pay off in the end. And I think we're very fortunate that we did those kind of things so that when you get to this point, you ain't got to worry about where your next meal's coming from and how are you going to eat or buy your medicine, so
Yeah.
it's very fortunate.
But you have some people that their need to have that adoration of being successful or he's doing that thing. It reminds me of your boy in the dorm. Remember he bought that Trans Am? He living in the dorm, couldn't afford to put gas in it.
Mm-hmm.
He ride around the parking lot and park it just to run it a little bit.
Yeah,
What's his name?
and it ended up on the sale lot at Security Service Federal Credit Union.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
People like that trying to impress folks
yeah,
instead of getting them a nice little car that he can afford and ride around. Because he had that Trans Am parked in the back, and he rode the shuttle bus to work every
yeah.
day.
It was parked in the back more than it was out riding
Yeah,
anywhere. And
yeah,
and we all know what we all make. And we all like,
exactly.
how the hell you can afford that? We all know what kind of money we was making. Of course,
Yeah,
there's some people, family wise or whatever,
right.
say, just keep your ass away from home. I'll pay for your car. Just don't come back home.
Well,
But we
Russell.
all knew what we all made.
Yeah, his
And
name was
like you
Russell.
say,
That's what it was.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
wasn't no time that car was up there sitting on the for sale lot of the repossessed lot at the
Yeah,
credit union.
yeah. Well, I'm telling you, man. I'm like, come on now. If I didn't learn nothing at home, I learned you don't buy that you can't afford.
Can't afford. Can't. I'm the same way. I was that same way. So, but I say you just look back and you look at what could have happened, and you're so uh, thankful
Yes, sir.
that it didn't happen.
Well, Rodney and I are very blessed that our military career led to a very good life. I think it's a very good option for folks who may not know exactly which direction they want to go. So we are advocates for a military career, even though you don't hear a lot about that today. Well, we hope you like this edition. Join us next time for Old Fools Talking Old School. Until then, this is Mickey G. Peace.